It is time for your main event. First, we'll introduce to you the blue corner. He comes to us from Chicago, Illinois, with a record of 6-6. He fights independent, and he comes to the ring at 5 feet 9 inches tall and a weight of 170 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the cage, Josh the Jawbreaker Lee. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He comes to us from Okina, Illinois with a record of 14 wins and 10 losses. He represents Gilbert Grappling and comes to the ring at 5 feet 7 inches tall and a weight of 170 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the cage, Danny Gilbert! Life is almost precious and you can't lose. When you were here, the fun was never ending. Life a minute was only beginning. Count a club and nickel, there's one for you. You're a little nervous, I'm sure, right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have butterflies.
Oh, wow.
Oh, big punch already.
Wow, that was nice left hook right there by Dan Gilbert. He looks like he's on a mission. Tell me about that, Matt.
You know what? I actually think that Dan Gilbert is better now at age, I believe, 36. I'm just guessing, than he has been his entire career.
Wow.
It's interesting to see him fight. I see how he trains, but
guillotine attempt right now. Sorry to interrupt you, by Josh Lee. I'm not sure how tight it is. It doesn't look too tight, but he's definitely keeping that head down.
I like to see Danny pass. There you go.
Good job by Danny.
He has heavy hands, but a very underrated ground game. He's strictly a nogi jiu-jitsu guy and wrestler, but I would actually say he's brown or black belt level, just from the crazy stuff that I see him pull off in practice against very high-level fighters.
Very nice, very nice. Now half guard right now for Dan Gilbert. Josh Lee trying to wall walk, trying to stand up using the fence. Doing a good job so far, but Dan Gilbert's looking for a guillotine. Josh Lee recognizes that and goes back down to his knees. There it is, guillotine attempt right now by Dan Gilbert.
I can't see how tight it is.
He's squeezing hard right now. I think this might be it. Oh, Josh Lee gets out. So Josh Lee on top.
Pants are like
he's
falling
giving
down.
us a show. You know, no problem there. Josh Lee, let's see what he can do on top now. Matt, you've trained with Dan Gilbert for years now. How is his bottom game?
It's actually really good. Like I said, his ground game overall is very underrated. With punches added in, of course, it's different.
Absolutely. You know, that's for everybody. And you know, you hear the time-honored quote of you punch a black belt, he becomes a brown belt, and then so on and so forth. So, you know, hope. But.
I've seen Danny, I won't say his name, but I've seen him flying armbar submit a UFC fighter before. I've also seen him tap out a local brown belt who's, you know, so it's possible right here. Yeah, Josh Lee is extremely game, as we can see. This guy keeps attacking.
By Dan Gilbert. That arm! Press right now with Dan Gilbert and Josh. Most fighters, Josh Lee is throwing punches, Dan Gilbert throwing submissions.
Yeah, both are really active, and that's what we need for a main event fight.
Absolutely. You know, triangle not completely locked up right now by Josh Lee, but
it looks like he was more focused on that armbar. It's hard to tell. We're kind of at a weird angle.
Absolutely. You know, hard punches right now by Josh Lee. Armbar attempt again by Danny Gilbert. It looks very tight. A lot of punches by Josh Lee.
Pop those hips up, Danny. Pop those hips up. Come on.
You know, Dan Gilbert is taking a lot of punishment.
Yeah,
right
you
now
could actually see some
not
knots and
necessary, I don't think.
right.
There you go. He finally stops it. Josh Lee, go-go plata attempt.
Wow.
I don't know. He may finish this. Josh Lee is just throwing punch after punch after punch. How much more can Dan Gilbert take?
It seems like that's his submission defense is punching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, Danny, keep working.
And here we go back again into guard. Josh Lee on top. Dan Gilbert with an open guard. I think he might be a little bit hurt right now, to be honest with you.
Those are a lot of punches, a lot.
They definitely take your toll. Dan Gilbert maybe, abandoning the submission attempts and maybe going for a more of a sweep-oriented guard game.
Come on, Dan, you gotta stand up. Use the cage. Use the cage. Put your back up against the cage. Stand up. Come on.
I'm impressed right now with both fighters. Dan Gilbert, very good submission game, like you said, off of his back, and Josh Lee just throwing hard punches.
There you go. Come on, stand up.
Half guard right now by Josh Lee, throwing hard punches.
Underhook. Use it. Use it for your sweep. Underhook. Single leg.
I think those punches took a big toll on Dan Gilbert.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
think so
Josh
too.
Lee is just throwing, and Dan Gilbert's kind of just hurting right now. He's just working that underhook. Working that underhook right now. There it is. And both fighters, we're going to the second round. Dan Gilbert is definitely a little bit hurt. He has shaky legs. His face is, I think I just heard he said he can't see.
Hands up.
High kick by Josh Lee. Oh. High, flying knee right there by Josh Lee. Nice hook right there by Dan Gilbert. Both fighters taking some hard punishment. Josh Lee looking for a throw. Dan Gilbert with an overhook right now. One thing I'll say right now, Dan Gilbert is a warrior. Dan Gilbert is a tough guy. Josh Lee as well. Josh Lee with an underhook and an overhook. Same thing for Dan Gilbert up against the fence. You're watching Cutthroat MMA. Supremacy 4. Nice uppercut right there by Josh Lee. Good left hook by Dan Gilbert. Kind of has a headlock right now. Going to look for a guillotine. Josh Lee trying to get out, which he does. Nice elbow right there by Josh Lee. I think Dan Gilbert's hurt. This nice left hook right there by Dan Gilbert.
See,
Dan Gilbert right now looking for the guillotine. He's going for it. Pulls it. Not sure if he has it tight enough. Josh Lee getting out. Josh Lee walking around like he should. He needs to walk around to side mount right now if he were to get out of that guillotine.
I don't really like that choice there.
Dan Gilbert, I think, fighting on heart right now.
Yeah, I don't really like him pulling guard to that. He sure has the chin, I'll say that.
Absolutely he does. Josh Lee has punished Dan Gilbert. At the same time, Dan Gilbert has not thrown as many shots, but he has caught Josh Lee with 3 or 4 left hooks that are just thunderous left hooks. And right now, his corner yelling to Dan Gilbert, left underhook, trying to get his hips out, get to the fence and wall walk. Josh Lee not allowing that, throwing just constant punches right now. Very impressed right now with Josh Lee. We saw him fight last with Jay Estrada, lost a tough back and forth battle, and right now we're seeing Josh Lee do a very good job controlling Dan Gilbert. Josh Lee's corner yelling to stack Dan Gilbert, throw punches, not let him hold him down in guard. Danny's corner just yelling, make something happen. One thing I'm noticing a lot right now, Matt, is not as many submission attempts being thrown by Dan Gilbert in the second round as he did in the first.
No, yeah, he's definitely worn down with these punches and elbows. It'd be a good idea if he were to look for top position a little bit more in this fight.
Absolutely.
Work that arm.
I completely agree with you. He did a good job, you know, in the first round, taking him down and controlling him. So, you know, he's not doing that as much now. He did attempt that guillotine and paid for it a little bit when he didn't finish it by being on the bottom. Josh Lee and Danny, not a whole lot going on. A few punches here and there by Josh Lee. I think both fighters a little bit more tired than they were, obviously, in the first round. Now Josh Lee throwing a few hard punches.
There you go, heel in the hip.
Josh putting Danny all the way up against it. Nice elbow right there. Danny has the opportunity to kind of get his hips out, or he did earlier, to get his hips out and take his back, but did not do that. Josh Lee's corner yelling and calling for the elbows by Josh Lee. Threw a few and then went back to just controlling the wrist of Danny Gilbert. Half guard right now by Josh Lee. Crucifix, he's got a few punches. A lot of punches right now by Josh Lee. If he can get his head on the left side of Danny Gilbert's left arm, he can have a nice crucifix, but I don't know if he recognizes that or not.
Come on, Dan, you gotta make it happen.
Hard punches by Josh Lee. Looking for a key lock. I don't know if that's going to happen against a grappler of Danny Gilbert's caliber. I don't know if Danny Gilbert has any explosion. There it is right there. And there it is. As soon as I say that, I wasn't sure if he had any more explosive power. He absolutely does. I think he was just biding his time, relaxing and waiting for the opportunity, and he struck. Unfortunately, though, 10 seconds left now, Matt. You gave me a sigh of a little shake of your head. You know,
yeah.
Unfortunately, I think a little bit too little, too late in that round. He's got one more round to try to finish the fight.
That's what he needs to do. This fight needs to be finished. He looks really bad. His face.
Yeah, tough. Dr. Merched, trying to see if he can still see, if he still feels fine. Josh Lee looks fine to me from here. He doesn't look like there's a problem with him. You know, Dan Gilbert has not necessarily absorbed a lot of hard shots. He's absorbed just a lot of shots. I did hear Dan Gilbert say after the end of the first round that he could not see, and it looks like that's it. Looks like the fight is being called right now by the doctor.
Gentlemen, your winner of your main event due to a doctor stoppage at the end of your second round, fighting out of the blue corner, Josh the Jawbreaker Lee.